Yo, 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 your boy's back in the building. So, I got back from ARG Orlando. I'll explain a few things about the tournament. Now, for one, I was doing really good. I took fire physics, of course. I was thinking about playing shadows, maybe, but then again, it's like, why play a meta deck if you could just play a deck that you know and you have more trust into? And why play, a meta deck where 9 out of 10 everyone in the monster could be playing it? Now, like I said before, out of the three decks I could probably play on like meta wise, it's probably Quills or Shadows because they're aggressive. Burn Abyss, they're just too grindy for me. I'm sorry, but then again, I wouldn't really touch meta on my channel because for one, it's like, why go with meta? Just why? Meta is the reason why it gets countered. So pretty much I was playing Wolves in my round one. My round one I was going against Burn Abyss. Burn Abyss. Burn Abyss versus Fire Fist. It's a 50-50 matchup. It's a skill matchup. Pretty much whoever, if the Burn Abyss player has Fire Lake, then the Fire Fist player loses. If the Fire Fist player gets out Swallow or does turn one Spirit to where that the opponent cannot to where that the Burn Abyss player cannot catch up to, then they lose. Because toward the end of the day, when it comes on the grinding, Fire Fist does it better than Burn Abyss. They do it better because the fact that dragging with the trap formation control is way strong. And the moment Swallow even touches the field, it becomes 10 times difficult for the Burn Abyss player to fight that. So, my round two was against Shadows. Shadows, they have a really strong match against Fire Fist because of the fact that Wanda is a card. If you're playing like Fire Fist without the trap formations, then yes, Wanda will kill you unless you're playing a lot more formations. About like if you're playing the trap formations, Shadows they really have a difficult time. They have a difficult time because for one, trap Fire Fist wouldn't really depend on they wouldn't depend they wouldn't depend on their extra deck for fighters. So, and pretty much as that round three was against Burn Abyss again, and that one right there, game one I pretty much outfaced him and he couldn't really do a swallow. Then game two I didn't make a misplay, but he had his side deck cards was really strong because this is what I'm gonna say why Firefist will always have a difficult problem with this format. It's because why they just work like pendulums. They need their spells and traps to go off. So with Fairy Wind running around, with Spell Shatter Air running around, it's really difficult to fight that matchup. Even though I didn't run into any Ragnar Zero, because Ragnar Zero wasn't played in like most of the decks. Then again, I did run against Zamaterasu as well, but that's like later on. So game three, he opened really good. I opened up really bad. Even though I had Swallow, I still couldn't deal with Fairy Wind. So Fairy Wind did kind of kill me. So the next round I went up against Quillports. Nope, not Quillports. Koromeru with like the Beast Warriors. So that one, it was a weird matchup. I can't really explain that matchup because it was just 2-0. No offense, and I'm not gonna be cocky about it. It was just 2-0. The next round was against Quillports. I beat him. I beat him game one by OTKing him. Game two, he beats me because of the fact that he had floodgates. And in game three, I beat him because he misplayed really bad. Like the thing about pendulum is that you should never lock your scalps unless you're playing Quillports where you're playing like when you're doing a double scalp play. Then yeah, that's fine. You can double scalp. It's an okay move. It's nothing bad. You can double scalp. It's not a bad move. But but if I have a bonus video for you guys too as well. Because I'm gonna still be talking for a while. But pretty much the corporate player he lost because he misplayed because he went carrier and shell. No, he went trampolines and shell. And literally, what all I had to do was just literally just don't touch his pendulum, and just keep going in. Because I'm gonna tell you guys something. The thing about pendulums, well, no, not pendulum. When you're going against quick ports, you really don't need to pop scout all the time. If you're playing an aggressive deck, you should be worried about the floodgates, not fucking scout. Excuse my language, but that's how serious I need to make this, a part of. Um, Pretty much that was the biggest issue I had, and that when I was going into quick force as 550, I kept trying to pop scout, and scout is really not the problem. The problem is the floodgates. I could deal with quills, getting their searching and all that other stuff. That's fine. Because 9 times out of 10, what really stops me is the floodgates. You could MST scout and you still can't beat quill boys because of the fact that they have skill there. If you're playing a passive deck, then yes, you should go for scout. You should, because then again, you will always have answers for the back row, aka Tellarknights. They can alpha any type of floodgate they could ever see, and 9 out of 10, if they go against kill or whatever, however, they have double honors to deal with that. That's why honors with the 2, just to deal with killer. After I beat him, I unfortunately go against no. After that, I was supposed to go against a Mendoche player, but his deck got stolen, unfortunately. Then after that, I went up against Tellarknights. This is when I made a huge misplay. Oh my gosh! Like game 3, I tanky for Gorilla over Spirit, which I could have just went off with that. But at the same time, I just kept thinking, okay, what happened if he has to compose? What happened if he has like alpha and stuff like that? You know how Talonites are. Like when they have a monster in the field, you really gotta think twice about doing any type of plays because that counter trap is really annoying. I hate that stuff. I really do. Then again, Inferno Bear does it better. But pretty much, yeah, I lost because of the fact that I searched for Gorilla and I should have searched for another monster to deal with to make my board a little bit better because I knew he had Altair in his hand and I didn't want to take the risk of trying to go off. So because of that, that's the reason why I lost. But yeah, that was like the biggest reason why I lost that entire tournament. After that, I still had a fighting chance. I tried to go against next match. I went up against Barnabas, and this guy just opened the grids, and I couldn't really deal with that. And plus, also too as well, if you're doing like a tournament and stuff like that, wear proper clothes because at the ARG event it got really cold and I got really sick, so I couldn't really play out the matches anymore. Even though a lot of people was like, oh, we're going public on the Twitch, on the stream and stuff like that. Then again, I got really sick, and unfortunately, if I would have stayed for round 9, I heard that I would have gotten my feature match. Then again, when players want to see, the meta players and stuff like that, you can't do anything about it. You gotta get what the audience wants. But then again, when you have the audience saying, for one person, then you gotta answer the audience. So pretty much, that was like the biggest. It was a really good tournament. I made some misplays. I made a few regrets, but towards the end of the day, I did came off being X3. And don't forget, it's with fighters. The deck is not dead. The deck is so strong. But at the same time, I will be moving on. I've been playing that deck for 2 years. For 2 years. In a lot of formats, I topped. In a lot of formats where that players could not deal with the deck because they don't know how to fight against this deck. So pretty much, the next deck I will be going to is between Infernoids and Yosendras. Now, will it be a 60 card between the two? maybe Yosenju's, but not Infernoids. Infernoids, you need to draw your monster. Like you need to draw into your reasons and your monster gate. Because when you open reasoning and monster gate, that's like GG. That's how stupid that freaking Inferno deck is. And the fact that the next event that we'll be going up to is the YCS in Charleston. Infernoids, they're gonna be playable. And I'm thinking if I take Infernoids, what decks would it stop? So let's put it down. It would stop Talonites for a fact because of the fact that they do touch their graveyard with Altair. If you banish your opponents and Nebs, they are really mad. That's why if you saw the deck profiles of like Mo and I forgot the other dude's name. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. But when you looked at the other two Quill 4 players that was playing Sealing Ceremony and stuff like that, of course they're gonna win their match against Talonites and Shadows and Burn Abyss because of the fact that they'll just banish their cards. Infernoids, that deck is literally Gravekeeper 2.0, but it's way better because of the fact that they banish cards from the graveyard. So if you're going in Shadows, you're like, oh yeah, I'm playing Shadows, I'm great. Okay, after Inferno effect, banish that Shadow Fusion. Okay, summon the 3,000 attack, go in, GG, pack it up, scoop it up, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, shout out to Solemn Warning because Solemn Warning like 5 monsters is really OP. So yeah, so like, comment, and subscribe. That was my tournament experience of the ARG Orlando. Now I will be dropping more videos as usual. I am working on Yosenju Pendulum. As you saw in the bonus video, I am working on that deck, so I could potentially make it into a 60-card deck. But at the same time, the deck needs more support. Because the biggest problem with Yosenju is that you could run hand traps, but if you run against Quills, you're going to crap. So, like, comment, and subscribe, and your boy Oblivion Zamaterasu, aka Public, is out.